98. Yes, ma'am.
I'm just going to start by saying I am distressed at the level of flippancy that you have when you speak about things like deep state and you repeat things from the president that we know are lies.
Sure. What's a lie? If you could just tell me, because you say I'm repeating things that I know are lies. So what's a lie that I repeated?
This is what I'm going to say. You come and you act like you want to have civility and you want to have dialogue, but in your discussions, you never even try to look at things from both points of view and come to some kind of middle ground.
Well, ma'am,
we're in this mess.
Ma'am, there is no middle ground on impeachment. Do you understand?
I agree.
It's like
so
I'm going
to ask my question.
It's like
now.
someone. No, I'm going to have to, because you accused me of not seeking a middle ground. Now let me tell you something. I could ask people in this room how many people think taxes should not be raised, and another group says how many people think taxes should be raised, and you can say, well, let's find a middle ground. The middle ground is raising taxes. There is no middle ground. If you have people who say, no, you shouldn't raise taxes, and people say, yeah, it's okay to raise taxes, there is no middle ground. I have to decide. See, I only get to push a red and green button. I only have two choices. I actually have to come to a conclusion. I do spend time looking at things when I have the availability. So on the impeachment, for instance, when they don't show me the transcripts, when I have no access to transcripts, you're a member of Congress.
Because you're not on the committee.
Ma'am, in December, am I going to vote? Am I going to have to vote on this impeachment in December?
After the
Impeachment
public
articles?
hearings. And
Nonsense. There were going to be no public hearings. In those hearings, I should have access to every single hearing that was ever made because I have to vote on it. Now, what's your question? No, I'm not kidding. I should have access to what's that? I what?
If you're going to be
I'm sorry, what did you say? Can you give him the microphone? Because you made a comment.
Yeah, you're a joke.
I'm a joke. Good. You know what? I bet you this fella here talks about the way Donald Trump talks. And I'll bet you he says, you know what, Donald Trump attacks people. He says not nice things about people. How could a president do that?
I don't care
Sir,
about that at all.
This is what liberals do.
This would be
Go
my
on.
time, so I'm going to
You
cut
got
this
it.
off.
You got it. But listen, the fellow in front of you is the one who was taking your time, not
You
me.
know or should know that the rules for the impeachment proceedings were last changed in 2015 by the Republican majority and signed by then Speaker of the House John Boehner. McCarthy and Scalise helped enact these rules. These rules enable committee chairs to issue subpoenas without holding a committee vote first, and they also allow the fact-finding bodies of the impeachment inquiry to be done in private.
Okay, you're right. Our rules allow it. If you hold these in the Intelligence Committee, you are allowed to hold them in private, but that's the only committee. Because remember, we didn't vote on it. Excuse me, ma'am. I'm sorry. Did you have is your question over? I'm sorry. I thought I was going to explain that, but maybe not.
So I am. So this is the problem, right? You talk, and then there's no opportunity to.
Ma'am, I've let you speak. I've let you go on a tirade of a canned question. I just had the same question in the last town hall. So you're all getting your talking points right. I get it. But okay, and then when you're in doubt, then you curse. Okay, we got it.
I mean,
we got it.
I'm sorry, it's my question.
You're not the first person who's cursed at me.
Anybody else, and I resent the fact.
Please ask the question.
So what I'm saying is that that performance you put on and the letters that you've written are inaccurate. We're operating under the rules that the Republicans enacted, and you act like you've never heard of it.
So there's no question. That was a statement. So I'm going to answer the statement. Under another rule in the House, I am entitled to every single committee to attend any committee, with one exception: Intelligence. That's the only committee. I can go into any committee meeting any day, and I have the privilege as being a House member. You're elected representative, representing 750,000 people, to actually look at that witness with my own eyes. Now, I don't get to ask questions in every committee unless the committee agrees, but I can see what goes on. So what did Nancy Pelosi do? She didn't call for an impeachment inquiry vote, so she could hold this, quote, impeachment inquiry, whichever way she wanted to, which was to ask the Intelligence Committee to hold it. Why? Because she knew every member cannot go into the Intelligence Committee. In fact, I tried 2 weeks ago, and I was denied entrance. They wouldn't tell me why I was denied entrance. They said, you can't come in. I said, well, can I have a transcript? Because I read about it in the newspaper this morning. I literally read about the transcript in the newspaper. I said, can I have the same transcript the newspaper had? No, you can't have that. Like, why not? Well, you can't.
You were the ones that started this.
So this is, no, I did it the week before, actually. I was there the week before. I was a trailblazer. So honestly, we hit a nerve with the American people because lo and behold, Nancy Pelosi comes out with this new impeachment inquiry. Now, when she made the first announcement, go back to the tape, she said any impeachment has to be bipartisan. Go back to the tape. That's what she said. I was there for the vote last week. The only bipartisanship was against the impeachment inquiry.
That was not.
Because she couldn't even get she couldn't even get every Democrat to vote for it. Now let's contrast that with the Nixon impeachment inquiry, where 400 members of the House voted for it, or even the Clinton impeachment inquiry, where 30 Democrats voted for it. No single Republican, even the ones retiring. You see, they got nothing to lose. They're retiring. Even the ones retiring didn't vote for that inquiry. You know why? Because the process had been fixed already. You can't undo what you did before. You know, what they did is bring only the prosecution witnesses in. We got no witnesses. And oh, by the way, the rules say that they can subpoena witnesses, but they're not going to subpoena the defense, the presidential defense witnesses, because we know the way this was conducted. So they brought witnesses in already. They selectively leaked transcripts, didn't punish the Democrats, and you can look in the newspapers who's quoted, which members of that secret room left and talked to the press about what was said in those hearings, to create a story. So I call this a Soviet-style secret hearing. Why do I call that there? And I'm sure that's one of your talking points, because I got it at the last town hall too. Because that's the way the Soviets did business. If they had a political enemy, they made up a charge, they conducted a one-sided trial, and they got rid of their political opponent. And oh, by the way, they did it in secret. This is exactly what was being done. Every American should be very scared.
And so
We're spending a lot of time in Congress on an impeachment that everybody knows, and I'll cut to the chase. We're going to impeach the president by the end of the year, and then the Senate will acquit them in February or March. They'll acquit them. That's the way it's going to go. Everybody knows that, because this is not a bipartisan effort. This is a partisan effort. America's seen this. They've seen my colleague. I won't name names. You all know. You can Google it. Who famously said, "We've got to impeach him because he might be reelected."
Yep.
I'm not going to say the name, but you got the right name. That's the deal. This is a sham. This is an absolute sham. The Republicans did not say anywhere that this had to be conducted in the Intelligence Committee.